In this session, we're going to take a look at other types of analysis we can conduct using the social media data. This is actually a combination of, actually an integration of what we have covered before. So we'll be looking at data mining and text mining again. Specifically, we're going to run a sentiment analysis for the tweets in this social media data set. And we'll also do a prediction analysis to predict the number of retweets for each tweet. So let's start. For sentiment analysis, let's load these three libraries first before we start the sentiment analysis. And then you can set the working directory to where you have saved the positive and negative libraries. So if you know the location, you can type it in here. If you don't, you can use the session and then set your working directory by clicking the folders. And now we can load our sentiment library. So let's load the positive words and then the negative words. So we'll be using the same sentiment function that we have created in the text mining lab. And now we're going to apply this score sentiment function to the text column from the Twitter 1 dataset. And we are going to use the negative words and positive words we have loaded from the sentiment library. And now we're done with this sentiment analysis. So if you open up the scores table, you will see the original sentence, you will also see the clean sentence, and then you will see the score of this different, all the different sentences. So we can actually add the sentiment results to our initial data set, Twitter 1. So we can add the sentiment score. We can also add their sentiment polarity to Twitter 1. And now we can create a histogram to see the sentiment results. If you look at this bar chart of the sentiment results, we can see that most of them belongs to the neutral category. So quite a bit of them belongs to the positive category, and a few of them belongs to the negative category. So this is not too surprising because these tweets are all about avocado. I mean, like most people like avocado or doesn't really have a strong opinion about it, so it's not too surprising to see most of them in the neutral and positive categories. If you want, you can also create a histogram for the sentiment score, and it will be mostly surrounding 0. Yeah. Now we can take a look at the prediction analysis we can conduct using our social media data. So in here, our task, this example task that we're going to do is that we're going to predict the retweet count based on the sentiment score, favorite count, and also text length. So let's first attach Twitter 1 and create a new correlation table with only the 4 variables we are going to examine in this table. And then we are going to create we are going to plot a correlation matrix with a trend line to see which variables we should actually include in this regression model. So if you look at the p-value, we are actually seeing the favorite count and also the display text width. So this two seems like to have a significant relationship with the retweet count. So when we are creating our model, we're going to use only these two variables. So now we're going to create the training and testing data set for the prediction. So in here, I'm just using a very simple way to use the first 8,800 as the training data set and use the rest as the testing. Personally, I would still suggest you to use the random sampling for real analysis. That will be more accurate. You can also use some other methods such as cross-validation and things like that to make sure that your model is robust and accurate. So let's create the training and testing data set. Now we can create the model, the prediction model based on our training data set. So we're going to predict the retweet count, and we're going to use the favorite count and display text width as our independent variable. So technically, for predicting retweet count, linear regression model is not a good choice. We should usually be using Poisson regression model or zero-inflated Poisson regression model because it's a count, and also it's following a power law distribution. So here is the summary result. So we can see that both two variables have positive, significant positive correlation with the retweet count. And then we can create a prediction using this model based on our testing data set. And we can also add this test result to our testing table. So if you look at here, we added the result to our test table as well. That's why the test table has 91 variable, because we just added the prediction result to it as well. So if you want to calculate the RMSE, you can take a look at the data mining part about how to load the library RMSE and how to calculate the RMSE for your model. And in here, if you want to save the output, the prediction output file result into a CSV file, we can also do that. So we can attach the test file, and then we can just include a couple variables that we are interested into the CSV file. So in here, I'm including the user ID, text, display text width, favorite count, retweet count, sentiment score, and also the predict result into my result table. And I'm going to write it into a CSV file. So if you go to the directory that you have set before, you'll be able to see that in here there will be a new CSV file, retweet prediction, created in that file, which will look like this. So that's pretty much about the different example analysis we could use for our simple social media analysis. If you're interested to learn more functions in the instructions of the retweet package, you can click this link to look at other functions for the retweet package. It's pretty fun to play with the Twitter data, and I hope you enjoy playing with R as well.